Sir Charles Martin, Prosperity Park Properties. We're at 2700 Fairlawn Street. Our HVAC system is in. My renovations assistant, Ron Cook, is going to come in and talk about what goes inside of a quality HVAC job. I mean, HVAC is truly a work of art, and our team, they did an amazing job in this house. It takes teamwork to make the dream work, and what we're going to show you right now is what happens behind the wall. This is extraordinarily impressive. My renovations assistant, Ron Cook, is going to come over and talk about what our HVAC crew did in this home. Ron?
A lot of things when you come into a house, it really goes to the quality of the house that you'll never see because they'll be behind the walls. And this is an example of what we're talking about. This has been a custom situated HVAC system for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning, which you will not see when you come into the house. But this is the main trunk system that supplies the air throughout the house, and a return system. Because it's a closed system, the air that comes in has to go back and recirculate through the HVAC system. But this is a trunk and a supply line that's situated custom for this house. In addition, you'll notice by the door here on the floor, this is what we call a supply. This supplies heat and or AC to the dining and kitchen area. There's another one over by the door in the floor, which is also the supply here on the floor. And again, they're all situated exactly for what's appropriate for the room that we're dealing with. Now, if we come back over through the kitchen area here, just before we cross past the downstairs into the living room area, the powder room. The powder room, in addition, has here a supply line that brings heat and or air into the powder room. And if you're able to see up in the ceiling here, there's a fan where there'll be an exhaust for the powder room as well. And following over into the living room area, move this out of the way, you'll see that on the floor here we have another supply that brings heat and or air to the living room. And a second one over here by the window, again, a supply. And these are all custom situated for the room itself. And you'll notice as we go through them, you'll see supply lines either near a window or a door. And there's a reason for that, because it's an exact reason why you want any cold air coming in or hot air. Your supply, whether it's winter or summer, is going to counteract that and gives the best air conditioning for the property. Now here, in the addition, you'll see not only in the ceiling, you'll see supplies. I mean, this is a return here. And over here by this window, you'll see supply. That's just part of the sunroom. It's custom made for the sunroom as well as a supply and a return on the other portion of the sunroom. And again, all of these have been positioned so that they give the best air conditioning or the best heating for each room in the residence.
All right, let's go have a look upstairs. When I tell you that this is a work of art, this literally is a work of art. Ron.
Yeah, again, affordable luxury and quality in a house that you won't see when you walk in, but is here nonetheless. And these all will be behind the walls when you come in. But again, this is a return, and the supply system that you saw on the floor below. Well, what you see up in the ceiling here, when he said a work of art, this really is a work of art, because they have to literally custom design this supply and return system for this particular property. And these trunks that you see in the ceiling are all coming, at least on this side of the house. I don't know if you can see this little silver part right up here. It is a custom designed distribution system, and out from that particular part you get the supply lines and the returns for each and every room in the house. So you got ducts going this way, that way, and every way it looks like, but it's all with a purpose and with design, and it has to be done so that you have the trunks hanging at a certain level from the rafters, and they're sitting in a certain angle so that the air goes one way and the supply goes another way. Okay, and if you follow us around here, you see that system is repeated here in the bathroom, where we have, again, as we saw in the powder room, an exhaust fan will be in the ceiling here. And we also have the supplies for the bathroom as well in the ceiling.
Ron,
yes.
Real quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I already know the answer to it, but our viewers may not know.
Okay.
What's inside of that duct right there?
This particular duct,
No, right there, yes.
this is, there's a metal can at the bottom of it, but it's running into a trunk that goes all the way back to the distribution network on this side of the house. But this is where air and or heat will come into the bathroom, into the master bathroom here.
Okay, but that is duct sealer right there, right?
Yeah, duct seal. This is important because the industry has changed, and the mechanics that are working on the job are right on top of what the industry requires. You used to be able to just close these ducts and put some duct tape around it. Duct tape is still used, but the codes in the county require some duct sealer around every place where you have a joint or a connection. And that paste that you see here is everywhere where there's a connection, in addition to duct tape around where the duct meets it, and a couple of ties that tie the inside and the outside of the ductwork into that opening.
Does that make it airtight?
That makes it airtight.
Does it increase energy efficiency?
It increases energy efficiency. You don't lose anything in terms of what you're paying for heat and air conditioning. All of it goes where it's supposed to. Energy efficient.
Ron, explain to our listeners what that is.
Okay. That big hole in the ceiling there is very important to the circulation of heat and air conditioning in the property. This is the main return on this floor. So for the whole floor on this level, all the air that goes back into the air conditioning or the heating system will go back through this main return here. And again, it is all connected to the distribution system that is, again, using that word, artistically positioned throughout the ceilings and of each and every room in the property. And if I go behind you here, you'll see that again in each and every room, that system is still there. In the ceiling here again, we have a supply that brings air and heat to this particular room. And as you look up in the ceiling, you'll see that the main trunk from that distribution system we looked at first goes through the wall and into the addition. And if you look in the addition up in the ceiling, again, you see another distribution system that has been very artfully designed, not just artfully, but mechanically designed so that you get very efficient heating and air conditioning in the property. And as you look at that, looking like, as some folks have called it, a spider, you see the ducts going left, right, forward, and what have you. And there's a purpose to that because this one goes to this particular trunk here, and this goes all the way down to the sunroom where we were previously. That's how that air gets all the way down there. And we also have air that comes into the bathroom area here with the supply. And if you look over on the wall here, you see a fan, an exhaust fan will take air, exhaust out of the bathroom through the wall to the exterior as it's supposed to be. And on the opposite side, if you can just point over in that area, you see the system is repeated. Again, we have a duct going down all the way to the sunroom from the top. And we also have an exhaust for take exhaust out of the bathroom. And we also have supply that brings heat and air conditioning into that part of the addition as well. So the entire property is efficiently and effectively heated and cooled by this duct system that's been custom designed just for the property.
Okay, we're down in the basement at 2700 Fairlawn Street, and Ron Cook, my renovation assistant, is going to come and talk about where the furnace is going to go and the supplying of the forced air unit throughout this entire property. Ron.
Here we are in the basement. Some people have different opinions of the basement, just someplace you go and you hide out or chill out or something. But this really is where a lot of the guts that makes the property work are located here in the basement. And again, this is all completely new heating, ventilating, and air conditioning system. So in this corner, custom situated just for this property, the furnace and the A coil for the air conditioning unit will sit right in this corner. These open metal compartments here is where the supply and the return for that system are going to be situated. And as we have here again, all throughout, these are all new systems. All of this mechanical work is new, and all of it has been custom situated to fit precisely in this property in an effective and an efficient fashion. And all this new material here goes throughout the property. Again, as we saw on the other two floors, we have supplies coming off of here that will provide air and heating in this particular room. We also have a duct that's coming off here that is literally going to go all the way through and go up through this floor to supply one of the supplies we showed you in the kitchen area upstairs. And we follow the same new custom designed ductwork. We'll see that this trunk takes us over here and it runs off into the bathroom area. This is one of the 4 bathroom areas in the property, one of the full baths in the property. And in the bathroom, we're going to have, again, as you saw in the other one, supply which brings heating, air conditioning in, and an exhaust fan that takes exhaust out of the bathroom. An additional feature you'll see over here, because this is going to be where the washer and dryer is going to be situated in the water heater. So this system here that you see coming down, when you come in here and install a dryer, it already has an exhaust system that takes the exhaust from the dryer up and out of the property. So that's already been provided here and will be available when the washer and dryer installed. Also in this area, you will see that there's ductwork in the ceiling, again, custom designed for this property that takes supply upstairs, some of which you saw coming up to the floor in the powder room, that provides that particular supply. And we have ductwork that goes through the ceiling area that when we turn the corner, you'll see it also dropping down into the media room. So if we follow this ductwork that we're looking at originally, this trunk, again, comes all the way the width of the entire property. And right here, it goes again through the ceiling, and it snakes through all the brand new framing that's here, but it comes through that ceiling framework. And you may recall we had a duct up in the living room area through the floor. That's where this one actually goes to the floor in the living room. Right next to it in the ceiling, you'll see ductwork that brings supply into the media room. Not only that, of course, since it's all been custom designed just for this property, you see over here in the opposite corner where we saw some ductwork coming through the utility room ceiling. It comes over here to provide the supply line for the other floor supply in the living room. And here, this ductwork provides supply for the media room. So we have 2 supply lines here that will sufficiently cover all that's needed here in the media room. Again, being the guts of the house, very important. This panel is brand new, full service electric just for this property. 200 volt amp supply for the entire property. All this will be new, all new wiring throughout the property. Okay. The one thing I forgot to mention when we were over here by the where the furnace is going to be located, again, talking about the guts of the property and the importance of it. Here we have the water service line. As in most properties, most people don't know, your water line comes in about 30 to 36 inches below your ground because we want it below the frost line so it doesn't freeze in the winter. So you have a line coming out of the wall here, which is actually a water line that brings water into the property. And the county has come and installed a brand new water service meter here for the property. In addition, you can see here we're going to have all new plumbing throughout the property, starting from the source here in the basement.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this very informational video. I wanted to take a moment to show you what goes in behind the walls, show you what I mean by affordable luxury, show you how much effort goes into renovating a house. We're not some team that just goes out and buys a house and does nothing to it and sell it for a high price. We actually put a lot of time, attention, detail, and money into our properties. So when you see one of our properties, you know that it's going to be fine, it's going to be luxurious, it's going to be affordable, because we want to bring peace, we want to bring love, we want to bring total life prosperity to the neighborhoods and the communities that we serve. So if you want to buy one of our homes, 301-574-1494. You can express an interest in one of our properties on the website, p3dchomes.com. If you want to sell your property to us, 301-574-1494. We can close in as fast as 5 days. That's 5 days if you're in DC or if you're in PG County. In Baltimore City, because we have to get a lien certificate from the city of Baltimore, it is going to take more time. But in DC, in PG County, in Howard County, in Montgomery County, 5 days, we'll have you sold and closed. 301-574-1494. Thanks for watching.